Okay, it was a rough one yesterday, wasn't it? If you made it through the whole video with my rage, congratulations. Anyways, today's the 27th, so let's see what we got. Looks already I'm not very hopeful. So, let's go ahead and begin. And, yeah. We will see. A boom. In my face. I feel like my shoulders look weird. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. What do we have first? Alright. The title of this video first from AP News. Go check out AP News, dudes. We got sperm whales.
It was way more active than I think I had considered what a sperm whale birth might look like.
Ooh, heard
All
that.
these animals sort of actively diving under, lifting the calf into the air onto their back.
Excuse me. Okay.
Sets of two or three or four animals doing it at the same time. It was unbelievable. I mean, we had been there for almost an hour at that point. The delivery happened, and the little one showed up, and that first
the little one
came up and out of the water. And the boat had been silent, and they weren't that far away, maybe a few hundred meters initially, but then they came and swam right by the boat, lifting the calf out of the water.
Oh boy.
I mean, it was incredible. Never before have we had all of this technology to record from the air, or drone, to record from microphones, all of the details of the interactions between the animals during a birth. Who was supporting the mom, who physically lifted the baby, and how they related, because we've known this family of sperm whales.
See, here's my thing. Like a person like this, he wakes up, he thinks about whales. He eats breakfast, he's thinking about whales. He goes, I don't know, I can't imagine what this guy does all day. Well, I am, I guess. But he thinks about whales all day. This whale guy. He's got a whale on his shirt. He's got whale pictures in his house. He's a whale guy. I could never be so compartmentalized to just think about one thing every day. That always puzzles me about a human, is how they can compartmentalize themselves into one thing. Like, all this guy does, if you go on a date with this guy, all he's gonna do is talk about whales the whole time. Like, yeah, whales, you know, you know what I'm gonna say. How does this lower the housing cost? It doesn't. All this technology, all this energy, and honestly, it's a distraction. Because this guy's busy thinking about how whales reproduce, which, objectively to our society, isn't that important. Is it? What benefits will we get from recording the metrics of whale birth? I don't know. But I'm an idiot, so don't take my advice.
20 years, right? So it wasn't just animal A touching animal B. We knew that it was the grandmother supporting the mother during the
See,
process.
Even whales have more of a family than I do, and we care about them more as a society than, like, this idea that animals are more important than humans is all well and good, but also, how do we have a society then of humans? We don't, because guess what? The whales get a house before a human. I'm done with this one. Dumb whales. I've always been pretty, like, about whales, and that it's just, I don't know. I don't want to say who cares, but who cares?
In the morning of the 24th,
Witnesses recount the trauma of the it's pretty. She's so pretty.
in front of Tom Dobbins. After requesting the warrant, which was ignored.
Look at him lording. This is a wig, by the way. That's a wig. Look at how it's off of his ear.
3 agents proceeded to tackle me and drag me face down into the middle of the street. They knelt on my back.
Yep, and that's what they do to anyone who refuses their orders. That's called authority. That's anyone. If you ignore the police, if you ignore anybody, they'll always do that to you. Because the reason a person puts a badge on, mostly, nothing's 100%. I know that. Most people, though, I know that are in positions of, I have a gun and a badge, they want that so no one can question them. That's it.
Pinned my legs to the ground and handcuffed me.
Like, yeah, everybody who's ever been arrested has gone through this. Getting pinned down by a bunch of weirdos. Look at him. Bro, this is a wig. Look at this is supposed to be over your ear, cuh. What are we doing here, man? It's too small for your head, pimp.
By my legs and threw me in the back of the car.
She's got her pierced eyebrow, though.
in the back of the vehicle.
Who's this guy? Look at this Indiana Jones dude back here. Take your hat off. Show some respect. You're indoors. Same with Ned over here. Ned X over here at this hearing. Got his little old man hat on. Take your hats off, dude. I always thought it was a thing in America, like you enter a building, you take your hat off. I don't know. But the amount of people I got, you walk past a restaurant, you look in the window, because I don't go to restaurants because they're a scam. People wearing hats while they're at the dinner table. I thought that was a big no-no. You take your hat off when you're at the dinner table!
Agents shoot and kill on the other side of the street. At that moment, I thought I was too.
He says, good job reading your script. That's right. Yes, look at him. Read your script. Yep.
Yeah. I was driven to a warehouse adjacent to the Whipple Federal Building, where I was shackled and pinned against a wall.
Shackled.
I was then moved to Whipple, where agents repeatedly moved me between cells, each time asking who's paying.
Were you assaulted physically? No? Well, then you got off good.
After being held for 12 hours in a freezing cold cell, no access to food,
Freezing cold.
unless you banged on the window long enough.
Oh, well, there you go. There was a solution. If you did that in like a Malaysian prison or something, they would come in and break your arms for pounding on the window, so you don't have it so bad. This is my problem with this modern first world thing, is like there's other countries where if you don't have any rights, you wouldn't be up here giving a speech. You would have been murdered and your head chopped off and thrown in the sea. That's how they would have done you somewhere else. So yeah, there is actually rights here. You're here being venerated. She has a place to live, probably. Does this guy? Does Gaucho over here?
And no way of contacting anyone, as they had taken my phone.
Oh, they took my phone! Can you believe a more flagrant violation of human rights than taking someone's phone?
I did not know him, but I knew he had my back. I knew that
really?
I had one that loves and protects weapons.
Oh my.
That day has changed me forever. The trauma.
Nothing seems more disingenuous to me than someone who literally never looks up from the page while giving their, quote, heartfelt statement. She's not recounting her trauma. She's reading a prepared speech. And this guy with the shitty wig is the one who fucking wrote it. And he's like, you gonna read that script good now? Get out of here, dude. Trash. Who cares? Figure out another way other than go quit your job. I love the protests where they just sit there hounding the police. You really think first of all, do you think they decide anything? Second of all, they're a bunch of wage slaves. So you're trying to convince them to quit their job, which gives them their pension, their insurance, their precious family, their house, their car payment, their lazy wife with 3 kids doesn't work. She's out at Costco buying things. You think you're really going to convince dumb chud police guy to quit his job? Ha! Good luck. People are owned by their money god, and they're never going to forsake them for your little fucking flights of fancy.
My son Max Osterman.
Woman whose son died from drugs bought online celebrates verdicts against Meta. Yeah, he bought them online. Okay, buddy.
Him when he was 18.
This is your son, by the way?
February 3rd of 21.
Oh, you love Toblerones.
He found a drug dealer who was solicited.
This, too, a big red flag for me is when people wear pins like this of their dead. It's just very weird to me.
A drug dealer off.
I care about your family as much as you care about mine. Which is, guess what? 0.
Snapchat, and he purchased what he thought was a good
Oh, nice pic of him chewing some gum.
and took his life.
Gatorade bottle.
He was bright. My son was
Ew.
very bright, intelligent.
What is this
life
pose?
party, just really a sweet
People who photograph children make them do these weird poses, and it's very concerning.
kid. A lot of fun. In my sense,
I don't think there should be any pictures of children. If we're in this society where no one can be trusted and everyone's the internet needs a mandatory age and all this, then no pictures of kids at all. We shouldn't. Did you see her pin has changed? Hold on. Look at, watch this, guys. Watch this pin right here. You see that? I think it's just a reflection, but something was... my bad. I was looking too deep into the conspiracy. Look at it, we zoom in on the precious pin. This dude looks like the guy you'd buy weed from. Absolutely, that's a weed dealer.
in the safety of his bedroom and
Funny story, I almost purchased some things off the Silk Road, hypothetically, back in 2011. Would have been a bad move, but it also would have been a good move because you had to use Bitcoin for that. And I would have had Bitcoin, and I wouldn't be here right now complaining angrily. I would be happy.
drugs, and that's exactly
money.
what he did. And Snapchat.
You can't buy happiness. Yes, you can.
They were aware of it in my son's case.
How do you know that Snapchat was aware of him being solicited? Look at this freeze.
They still didn't shut down the drug dealer.
The drug dealer. Snapchat. Dude, have any of you been on Snapchat? I downloaded it, got on, looked at the recommendations, and immediately deleted it. It is the most groomery thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Worse than TikTok, absolutely. If your kid has a Snapchat and you let them use it, shame on you. Because you're contributing to the problem. Again, as I went on a rant yesterday, I don't have any children, so I get to bitch.
So it's
Not having children was one of the greatest decisions of my life I've ever made, and I would recommend it to you as well. Starve the system. Don't create more life for them to consume like this person. Now look, she just lives in a shrine state. She'll never be a normal person because she's like the whale guy. She wakes up, she thinks about her son, she thinks about her son, she thinks about her son, she goes to sleep. How is that a contributing member of society anymore? It's not. And then you might say, well, that's why we need to end these atrocities. All right, well, be a better parent. Where's his father? Maybe that's why he turned to drugs. Because I divorce his bitch ass and take all his money. And then you spend his fucking child support on fancy little books and remembrances.
fails. So
I don't know anything. I'm an idiot.
Social media.
This is all a work of fiction.
Regardless.
Sell drugs.
And social media or Snapchat in particularly, they seem to turn their head and they seem to look away.
The days before social media.
Oh.
Before the infinite scrolling.
Oh my God! Listen to this rhetoric.
You don't have to go to a bad area of town to get drugs anymore. I mean, you think your kids are safe in their home, in their bedroom.
Live more, worry less. That's not what you're doing.
Not the way it is with the current.
Couldn't get him a fancier urn.
Social media and Snapchat particularly.
The truth is out,
and it's
time
that
they are held accountable
for the design of the
platforms.
They're
operating exactly as they were designed to operate.
To addict children, to keep them on. The
The longer they keep them on, the more money they make. They put
Oh my God. It's to addict anybody. Have you guys ever seen a TikTok mom? Yeah. Tell me about it. Fucking Christine, by the way. Good grief almighty. Radicalized mothers using their children. Using their children for their soapbox agenda. That, what we just watched is child exploitation. Because they're using them to push their agenda. Is that not child exploitation as well? Is the Tomahawk missile hitting a hospital also not using children?
the rest of my family about knowing more and more. So recent history tells us in Afghanistan spent 20 years there, nearly 20 years. Many Americans died, even Afghanis died, and of course the biggest loss is the civilians. All
Is
that
it?
just for our puppet regime essentially to collapse. And so for me, I am not for going halfway across the world to fight. Granted, Venezuela.
See, this is a take I keep seeing, is that everyone's analyzing this war like we have 2003 technology. It's gonna be tanks, helicopter, a boat. And we're going to lose because it's going to be just like Afghanistan. They're going to go in the hills. We're not going to be able to find them. And that's it. It's like, dude, do you understand the level of technology that has increased in over 20 years? Like, there is no hiding anymore. The grid is eternal. They can see underground. They can cause earthquakes. They can manipulate the weather. I mean, no one's talking about Space Force anymore, are they? What is Space Force didn't exist in Iraq, so this idea of like they're gonna hide in a cave and launch missiles for the next 20 years and there's nothing we can do about it is probably one of the worst takes I've ever heard. Now let's analyze this man's fashion, because that's what we do best here on the channel. So first off, we got the hat, of course, Dad's hat. His dad gave it to him. He got the brim perfectly curved. He sits there doing this with his hat brim. Like, I gotta get that brim just right now. And then, of course, he's got the iDubbbz mullet. Oh, baby. He got the white guy mullet. The millennial freedom fighter. That's what this is. Like, yeah, I'm not going to conform to traditional norms, but I'm also going to throw it back. I like to say with my mullet, business in the front and party in the back. I bet he said that in his life. And then we got the tie. Let's see, what's on his tie? Sort of old lady flower pattern with maybe a bug. Is that a bee on there? There's a bee in his bonnet, that's for sure. He's got an American flag pin with a big head Trump pin right underneath it. And funnily enough, you can always spot a loser because they don't use the lapel hole for their pins. They pin it right through their suit. Amateur hour. Does he even know that that's what this little slit here is for? Is for his pins, where they belong? He's also not got a suit shirt under here. This is just a sort of a polo. Look at the small collar. That's not a suit shirt, bud. And his tie's not tight. No shoulder pad. Look at that little trap hump right here. Oof, man. You're failing, bro.
That was a clean operation, in and out, no casualties. But I know there's like rumor.
Does he expect no one to die? Isn't that why people sign up? And okay, here's my thing. If nobody dies in war anymore, then guess what? We're not going to be venerating our troops as much. Because isn't the whole idea we need to thank them for their service and be all nice to them because they're making the agreement to risk their life for our, quote, freedom? But if that's no longer in the equation, and they can just send in a robot and nobody's life is at risk, then why the hell should I thank anybody for their service? They went and got a free ride to life and a job, and they played on a video game controller and blew people up. No risk to themselves because they're in a bunker under Las Vegas. So what? I would ask him that question.
Rumors are that we could be sending troops over to Iran, and that to me would be full betrayal.
I was in Blackwood Air Force Base when they flew
Boomer take, incoming. I'm about to rage.
the planes.
Look at how, you notice with the boomers, their eyes are always all the way open because they're the most traumatized generation. What does this say? Golden ass of America?
To the Twin Towers.
Look at them. Look at the people that go to this place. Look at them.
Watched our military go on.
Whoa! They told them to specifically walk out. This is like, if you've ever seen True Blood, this is vampires. I do not abide by these. Look at, she's like, come this way. Like, I'm going this way. Clear power struggle in their relationship, and then they compromise. But he wanted to be on camera. made them walk out on purpose. I didn't even listen to a word she said because I'm so distracted. So let's listen to what Boomanan has to say. You know, Barbara's the type of person, she owns 3 houses that she bought with her husband's life insurance because he died at work at age 50, and she's been living high off the hog for the past 20 years, and now all of a sudden, because the money's drying up, now she cares.
Face.
But she owns 3 houses, she rents all 3 of them out, and lives in a tiny home
When they
that she paid $100,000 for.
flew the planes into the Twin Towers
Years ago.
and
Almost 30 years ago. Barbara. Almost 30 years ago.
I watched our military go on. You know, I haven't forgotten those days. I feel that Iran has been a threat to us.
She's starting to cry because she says Iran did 9/11. Okay. Thanks, Barbara. They're both dumb. All right, we've got some nonsense news here. Alyssa
Taylor Swift
shares the stage with Taylor Swift. Why? She's not a singer. She doesn't make music.
praises.
I don't know how I feel about this piercing she's got. It kind of just looks like,
She's so
I don't know.
nice. And
Yeah, Glaze the Queen.
it was really cool, and her speech was really good, and I was inspired by it.
How are you? How are you kind of handling this moment? How are your feet on the ground?
I mean, I really don't notice it unless like I go outside with a hat or something. And I don't go on Instagram that much. So I don't see all of the chaos, I guess. So I'm actually pretty good. Figure skating
What chaos? What are we talking about?
And I'm just glad that
They're just implying something I'm supposed to know about. I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
can get some people into it. It's it's such a cool sport. It's one of the only ones that are both artistic and athletic. And I have so much love for it, and it's so hard, and I just hope that other skaters are able to get the same kind of recognition.
They're not. You're at a music awards. Why? Because they play music during figure skating? Oh boy.
It's an honor to win an award.
Oh, here we got Somber. Thanks his listeners. Oh, yeah. Shut up, dude. You're corny generic
Music that
trash.
I wrote and produced myself.
Press X to doubt. Look at this. Watch this blatant lie. He can't even look at the camera.
Honor to win an award for music that I wrote and produced myself.
Look at him. He's saying no, but his voice says yes.
Bedroom, and I'm just incredibly grateful, and I'm thankful to my listeners who are the ones that really got me here.
Okay, buddy. Let's do a quick outfit analyzation, because how could we not? I mean, hell, I should watch the whole thing and do outfit breakdown. If you'd like to see that, go ahead and put it in the comments. Do more fashion analysis. So we've got bronze, silver, and gold hourglasses. That's what I'm seeing. A disgusting pea soup top. This is like the most 70s gross palette of colors I've ever seen. It's like, if you've ever been in like your grandparents' old house or something with the disgusting shag carpet, it's this color. The undershirt looks kind of nice. That would look good just by itself. Unbuttoned one, just wear that nice shirt. That's all. But no, we gotta put like, I've noticed this is the new trend. Mid-20s men dressing like old grandmas. Be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that. Old lady, grandma, young men clothing. Bolivia fans get emotional after team reaches World Cup playoff finals. Wow. Who cares? None of the people on your team are even from your country. Gracias. 33, by the way. There it is, folks. Have you noticed in every video, it's 33? Was this person getting robbed right here? Hold on. Oh, he spills his drink. Watch right here. Watch right in this region when we switch frames. Okay. Watch this dude with his drink right here. He's just so casual in the riot, by the way. Watch. Douche! He's pissed. You spilled my coffee. Things I could care less about. The World Cup. Well, actually, I couldn't care less.
This is nice because
Who is this? Okay, we've got Alex Warren on associating music with memories. Alright, quick fashion analysis to begin. First of all, if you're a ginger, don't wear this color. Look at this guy, looks like a flesh bag. Because his hair and his shirt are clashing. And you know what else I think I've gone over this before, but the tie that matches the shirt, I think is very ugly.
Because it's validation from both the fans. A lot of it's fan voted, but there's also radio.
Just trying to understand.
Right? It's the people that discover your music for the first time. What's your relationship, I guess, to the fact that, your music is a soundtrack for this generation. People are going to grow up in 10 years' time when they hear these songs. It's going to take them back to the moment they're living.
He says, no, they're not. He says, that's funny to him. He said, oh, they're going to listen to your music in 10 years. He's like, LOL, nah. No, they ain't.
In 10 years' time when they hear these songs, it's going to take them back to the moment they're living right now.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they are.
Growing up, my dad, when he passed away, he had these songs that we would have sung together in the car. And for me, every time I hear that song, it was My Wish by Rascal Flatts and a bunch of different Mayer records. It's just something for me where now I listen to that artist, an artist like John Mayer, and it makes me think of my dad. And the fact that I might be just for one person something or someone like that, it's worth it all,
Good grief almighty. There's Review Bra there. Is Chick-fil-A's time run out? I don't know, but Chick-fil-A does seem to be a little bit overhyped. That being said, I will be trying it today and telling you what I think. Whoa, okay, we got Derek Kawakami, Kawaii Mare, 3 killed. Oh, Hawaii's picking up, dude. It was the rain. The rain killed him. Oh my god. We need to GMO the sky so that it never rains again and these catastrophes never happen. Begin chemtrails now. See what he's got to say. Also, like, why don't you put this is a gorgeous shirt. It's a nice linen. But, like, not very mayoral, in my opinion.
Responders were dispatched to the scene.
But that's our culture, you insensitive prick. What, America? Because guess what, guys? Hawaii's America. And American culture is you wear a suit when you're in politics. There's no such thing as native culture. Because you're American, you worship money now. That's it. What is America? It used to be when someone came to America and became a citizen, they had to give up their whole culture and become an American. Now it's like, you're from India, so you come to America and you demand that everyone speak Indian.
The coordinated effort between the United States Coast Guard, our California Fire Department, Ocean Safety, DLNR, AMR, Quiet Police Department, and KEMA is phenomenal. Those folks responded very quickly, and I want to thank all of our first responders, 4 passengers, one pilot, airborne aviation, and details.
Airborne aviation.
So coming in. From the information that we received, it is a tour helicopter. And, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Here on Kauai, whenever somebody puts their feet on our soil, they're one of ours. We treat them like one of ours. They're a part of our family, and our first responders respond with that spirit in mind.
Okay. They're one of ours? What does that mean? Oh my god, there's so much. This is so daunting. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's just like my soul's being sucked out of my body. Ella Langley, fangirls over sitting near Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus. So, I think Miley Cyrus is one of the most low moral individuals on earth, and no one should look up to her.
On the same
Nor Taylor Swift, for that matter.
as Taylor Swift.
But hey, that's me.
Right there, so that alone, winner, and then
Winner!
go up there and have Miley Cyrus right there, so that alone, winner, and then
Is this a guy?
don't have to talk in front of everyone, and it's just your mind's blown.
I think this is the guy.
So didn't even know what these things look like for real. I mean, kind of. Wow. It is heavy. It is. It's really cool. It's just awesome. It's awesome to.
You don't know what an award looks like that you were striving for? Wow, very passionate. A lot of passion.
See that people are getting it. People are listening to music that people are wanting.
I really don't like this hair either.
This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, so it'd be terrible if I didn't. People like for me is that I've never been in a box. I think I'm constantly
Haven't you?
trying to try new things, learning myself as an artist, and I think that they're just following along with the journey and the story and the songwriting, and they're watching me become a better performer. You know, kind of falling in my groove a little bit along the way.
So fake. I can't believe the music industry still doesn't acknowledge that people write the songs for these people.
I recognize the majority leader. I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of calendar number 311, HR 7147. The clerk will report.
Calendar number 311, HR 7147, an act making further consolidated appropriations for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2026.
This is weird to me, these what are these people? Interns? Why they got him sitting so awkwardly? It's so uncomfortable and unprofessional looking.
And for other purposes.
Mr. President, is there objection to proceed to the measure? Without objection, the Senate will proceed.
Would have been there, damn.
President, I ask
Whoa, we got an outfit faux pas, everybody. You know, one of my most hated things is when a suit coat crimps in the middle here. It's too tight on the arms, look, you can see. And his undershirt is too bunchy, because it's looking really bad. And then you get there's a double crimp right here.
Consent that the substitute amendment of the desk be considered and agreed to the bills amended be considered and read a third time. Is there objection?
Let's read it again, dude.
I know of no further debate on the bills amended.
Take your hands out of your pockets. You're in a professional chamber.
If not questions on the passage of the bill as amended, all in favor say aye. Opposed no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The bill's amended is passed.
Okay, great. One guy voted. Nice. There's democracy. You just witnessed what our democracy really is. Rich man gets to say yes or no. Did I get to vote on it? Of course not. Rapper Yalin is released on bail after... Who cares? What the I've noticed that a lot of other countries make lawyers dress up in silly outfits. I think that's a pretty based move. God doesn't care about this. She's gonna say I leave it in God's. God knows the heart of... Shut up. Imagine while the world burns, you go protest for a rapper who got arrested with a gun. Now this one I saw earlier, and man, the title alone was triggering. 14-year-old runs on the general election ballot for governor in Vermont. How? How? How is that possible? At all? Just, there's nothing even to say because it's just so absurd. Not to mention, here's an 88, but there's this whole move, again, I think I've already mentioned it, but the idea that they're going to send, children back to work. Child poverty. So like 14-year-olds, yeah, you're gonna have to go get a job now. So have fun with that.
I just looked up what the age was.
And they should have the right to make money.
Our Constitution is really old. They just have to find one.
Our Constitution's really old. Okay, outfit analysis. Look, what's your undershirt doing? He doesn't even fill out his shirt, dude. Stop.
And really then just from there, I've just been campaigning.
Hello, I'm Roy, running from the youngest.
What is this microphone? Dude. Who the hell is Charles Bass 28? This isn't about me. It isn't about making anything. See, this is an agenda of we need more age rules. So it's like, well, there's no rules in place? Well, we need to amend the Constitution pronto.
In this state, our only restriction to run is that you have to have lived here for 4 years.
This really all started in my 6th grade year. Our school did a field trip to the state capital, and then my 8th grade winter, I spent 6 weeks at the capital working as a kid. It was a real...
So the Capitol's allowing 6th graders to work there? Huh?
Really cool experience.
As your governor, I will fight.
Look, he's wearing a t-shirt!
To expand affordable
In his rich daddy's huge backyard, by the way.
by making smart, realistic changes.
So I'll become the first ever person.
The Boy King. Yeah, how'd that work out in Game of Thrones?
I obviously do not have a huge budget behind me. In fact, I have $0 behind me. But
Bullshit! That microphone's $200, kid. That giant backyard you're in costs money. Look at this dope. This is a politician, though. You know he's a future Joe Biden right here. Look at the dead eyes, Dude, he's got rich parents, 1,000%.
Social media, the nice thing about it, takes essentially nothing. And for me,
no poor kid takes interest in politics like this.
I've just found it a lot more effective.
If I were governor, I would make sure to end all government mandates, forcing to end the sale of gas cards.
He just has a curiosity.
Why show this? Huh? And what happened in between? Look at this, like, disgust. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think France was very concerned
about everything. He was always dialed in and really focused.
Oh, I'm sure.
Questions, even though it seems really far-fetched, or people are telling you that it's not worth your time. I'm gonna give it my all. It's kind of great.
I don't expect necessarily to win.
And I did it all. I'm the best teacher on earth.
What I do expect is to start a movement and get more young people to come in behind me and say, yeah, we also want change.
That's all young people talk about is changing things, dude. That is a joke. That's a joke, dude. So a 14-year-old runs for governor. Meanwhile, 90-year-olds are in the Supreme Court deciding.
Pakistan has emerged as an unexpected mediator in the Iran war, offering to help bring Washington and Tehran to the negotiating table. Islamabad is often called on to act as an intermediary in high-stakes diplomacy, but it stepped into the role this time because it has relatively good ties with both Washington and Tehran. It also has a lot at stake in seeing the war resolved. Pakistani government officials have said that their public peace effort follows weeks of quiet diplomacy, though they have provided few details. They have also said that Islamabad stands ready to host talks between representatives from the US and Iran.
Great. W. Pakistan, our mediators of humanity. Why does my freaking speaker keep falling over, dude? Iran using insurgent tactics and holding the world economy hostage. Wow, you guys have changed your tune.
The American-Israeli war on Iran has reached the 1 month mark, and Tehran is still hanging on and using insurgent-like tactics to maintain its pressure both on its enemies and the global.
Well, what else are you going to do? Use your planes that don't exist anymore? Use your boats that don't exist anymore? Chokehold it holds. This picture again.
Oil and natural gas trade once.
Wasn't that... They just used that picture for Pakistan. Now we're saying it's the
The
UAE.
narrow mouth of the Persian Gulf,
Weird.
through which about a fifth of all oil and natural gas traded once passed. Now Iran controls who goes through the strait and when. And that pressure is...
What was that?
Now
Hold
Iran
on.
controls who goes through the strait
33 on the license plate. There you go.
and when. And that pressure is largely...
We're showing footage of a Thai gas station, because that's relevant. Can't Bono help? Oh wait, isn't this Brad Pitt? Can't Brad Pitt help?
Meanwhile, we've seen the Iranians
Why do they have Brad and Angelina together? That's so strange.
increasingly use
Oh, you notice they've moved over a little bit and covered up the blood splatter from this guy? Isn't that interesting?
called shoot and scoot tactics where
I don't want to take credit for calling it out, but
look like commercial trucks, or using other sites far within Iran's mountainous regions to hide from the ongoing American and Israeli airstrikes.
No one's hiding in a mountain, dude. They got the FLIR scanners, the thermal scanners, the barium detectors. They sprayed the chemtrails. Everyone inhaled the barium. Now you show up on a map like you're glowing. Everybody knows that.
Now, this isn't to say that Iran doesn't have
everybody.
Already
Obviously not, because they don't. Well, they're just not saying.
Revolutionary Guard is now allowing children as young as 12 to serve in that force and man checkpoints. This is coming after the Israelis have repeatedly hit besieged checkpoints over the last several days. And whether or not Iran wins overall in these battles doesn't matter. For Iran, analysts say, all that matters is the survival of its theocracy, not how many airstrikes it must go through to remain.
Okay, buddy. Ooh, we're almost there. I think there's been some updates too, unfortunately, so we're just gonna have to keep going. Spain resident says it's, quote, a shame after 25-year-old woman dies by legal euthanasia. Well, obviously she consented and it was all agreed upon. So forcing people to be alive and suffer is better?
Sistema y de todo, porque vamos a ver, una eutanasia yo lo primero es respetar su decisión y respetarla, no cabe duda. Pero creo que hay la eutanasia para ciertos momentos, ciertas personas que están totalmente, pero si la sociedad hubiera cogido médicos, psiquiatras, quien sea, yo creo que se podría haber.
What? You know, you're contradicting yourself. Go dye your hair.
Salvado. Creo yo, no sé. Pero vamos, yo ante todo el respeto por ella, si ha sido su decisión.
Above all respect for her if it was her decision, but it's a shame. It has affected me a lot, you know. Why? You respect her decision. What's the problem? How has it affected you a lot?
Pero es una pena. A mí me ha afectado muchísimo, ¿eh?
I don't know.
Creo que depende de la persona, puede pensar que esté bien o está mal, pero aquí la libertad de expresión y de pensamiento
there you go.
hay que respetarla, es un derecho.
Exactly.
Creo.
Entonces yo creo que deberían haber dejado que la conocieran.
Convince her to keep on living. Why?
Hay otra forma de vivir, que hay mucha gente que en silla de ruedas y vive, ¿no? Entonces me parece bien que se institucionalice eso, ¿no? Que sea...
I don't think you have a right to say what it's like to live in a wheelchair when you don't. Spain's trash. I'm sorry, but like, Spain. That's the last place. I already thought this before, and now I'm just like, ew.
To our allies, however, that immediately after this thing ends,
they pillaged the world for how many years, and now they sit on their ivory throne and dye their hair and go to the club.
and we're done with our objectives. One of the immediate challenges we're going to face is in Iran that they decide that they want to set up a tolling system in the Straits of Hormuz. Not only is this illegal, it's unacceptable, it's dangerous to the world, and it's important that the world have a plan to confront it. The United States is prepared to be a part of that plan. We don't have to lead that plan, but we're happy to be a part of it. These countries have a lot at stake, not just the G7 countries, but countries in Asia and all over the world have a lot at stake, and should contribute greatly to that effort to ensure that neither the Straits of Hormuz or
use both thumbs. What?
Should ever be something that's controlled.
Have you ever seen anybody text with just one thumb? That's wild. But he's holding it with the other hand. Use both, dude. Surely it would be easier.
told by a nation state or by a terroristic government like
doing
the one
shorthand. I don't
in Iran today and their radical regime. So there seemed to be a lot of buy-in to that concept. There's a lot of work happening right now. The UK has played a prominent role in bringing that together, but other countries as well. And there seems to be a lot of acceptance of all that, and our allies and partners here, at least to me, seem to be appreciative of updates on our operation and an understanding of what lies ahead over the next few weeks. I think they all gave commitment that there would be.
You guys probably Spain, you know what I'm? See what I'm saying?
And that there would be a need to participate in something like that. I think some of the confusion over the first couple of weeks, maybe in the media, maybe in other forums, was this idea that somehow we were asking for that to start immediately. I think we've always viewed it as a post-conflict necessity. Look, I don't care what Iran says. The first few tankers that go through the straits after this operation is over, they're going to want an escort from somebody, or they're not going to get it. So the world better step up.
The world better step up? You did this, dude. You secure them. What? We started a fire. Is anyone else going to put this fire out? Hello? Don't you guys care?
And these kinds of editorial decisions that AP are not taken lightly. They come after a lot of deliberation and consideration. So what the UN did was review the course of the war between the Lebanese military group Hezbollah, backed by Iran, and Israel, which was reignited on March 2nd.
Wow, interesting. This is AP themselves is coming out and saying they are a legal authority, apparently, that Israel's attack on Lebanon is an invasion. Aren't they just coercing them not to work with Iran? This is coercion, not an invasion.
Of course, this happened as the United States and Israel.
This is called quid pro quo. If you don't do what we want, we'll blow your shit up. That's what we Americans experience every day when we go to work. Do what you're told or lose your life. In financial terms.
Bombing the Islamic Republic. And what happened was Hezbollah launched rockets into northern Israel, and Israel retaliated. And things really escalated from there. Israel sent thousands of troops across the border. It has severed the south of the country largely from the rest of Lebanon by bombing crossings and bridges over the Litani River, which runs around 20 miles north of Israel's border. And this was all happening as Israel was issuing evacuation orders across the south. And officials were making comments indicating that the civilians who left the south would not be able to return anytime soon, or at least until Israel was able to effectively remove Hezbollah as a threat to its northern border. Also happened as the Israeli defense minister was making comments that indicated that the Israeli military could be preparing for a longer-term occupation of this territory. So these are various factors in making the decision to call this an invasion that involved the length of this conflict, the number of troops involved, the comments and intentions of Israeli officials, as well as, of course, the rising number of casualties on the Lebanese side. So far, we've seen that over 1,100 Lebanese people have been killed in this conflict, and more than 1 million people have been displaced, and again, without any sense of when they'll be able to return home.
At least they have a home. Well, there you go, folks. AP has deemed this an invasion. They are the moral authority, apparently, on these issues. Alright, what do we got here? Iranian Americans who support the war chant "Thank you, Trump" at the CPAC, Conservative Political Action Committee. Look at this one. And there's cretins walking around here. Look at this thing. I'm so happy to see justice done.
I am from Iran, but I am US citizen also. Maybe you think
then you're an American.
Why US should be in war? Actually, I am going to say it's the best time to make America great again. And Iran can be biggest part of the puzzle to be this help. But first we have to need a freedom.
Look at everybody's arm up. It's almost like Germany in World War II, but they're holding a phone, if you know what I mean. Ooh, we didn't do shit! Ah! Okay, buddy, what do we got here? Artemis 2 astronauts arrive at the launch site for the first moon trip, and we're going back to the moon? Look at great already hitting with the comments. Edward Norton here. Can't wait to see those animation. I'm a comment. Too bad Kubrick isn't around anymore. I'm making a inflammatory comment. Boom. Yeah, our diverse team gonna fly around moon. I so wish the world was not in such chaos. I would love to focus on this project like we did when I was a kid. I'm 75. You are the problem. Boomer! So apparently we're going back to the moon. I don't know. 5 plus 3 is 8. So there you go.
Hey,
09.
Woo!
The nation and the world has been waiting a long time.
We're going in jets. So we got the technology back. Ooh, look at that. CC 3333.
On behalf of myself,
Victor, Christina, Jeremy, we are really pumped to go do this for this entire team. This mission is much more about duty and responsibility, so we can...
There's definitely something going on in space, because you saw the Russia just sent up a cargo ship to their space station, and now all of a sudden we're heading back to the moon. What's going on in space? Why do we never hear about Space Force?
Pass the batons off for this campaign.
What is Space Force doing in the Iran war? That's what I want to know. Why isn't AP telling us about Space Force? What are they up to?
And disappear while the Artemis 3 crew stands in front of this microphone.
We're going to be somewhere between 4,000 and 6,000 miles from the surface of the moon, much farther than most of the Apollo missions.
Uncross your
And there's
arm.
actually a silver lining and an awesome thing about that, which is that it's lighted in the right way, which we expect it to be
Lighted? Okay.
We're going to be somewhere between 4,000 and 6,000 miles from the surface of the moon, much farther than most of the Apollo missions. And there's actually a silver lining and an awesome thing about that, which is that if it's lighted in the right way, which we expect it to be, especially for this launch window, we have the opportunity to see parts of the far side of the moon with human eyes that have never been seen before, because we have that pulled back perspective, and that's a really exciting thing to be a part of.
Okay, buddy, are you going to take pictures of the bases on there or what? I don't know if you've seen these limos they got, but man, they look pretty tough. Like, look at this thing. This thing could withstand a missile.
I feel so badly. He's got
He's gonna make a statement about Tiger Woods. Come on.
There was an accident. That's all I know. Very close friend of mine. He's an amazing.
8288, by the way. Show me one where we don't see a 33 or an 88.
Person, amazing man. But some difficulty. We don't. I don't want to talk about him.
Okay. It's a sore spot. T. Wood's been drinking on the job, man. Alright, here, let's get the T. Woods. Let's get the story, man.
Our DUI investigators came to the scene here, and Mr. Woods did exemplify signs of impairment.
Uh-oh.
They did several tests on him. Of course, he did explain the injuries and the surgeries that he had. We did take that into account.
Oh, did you?
But they did do some in-depth roadside tests. And when it was determined he was placed under arrest, taken to the Martin County Jail.
What a shame. You hate to see
At the Martin County Jail, and even on scene, we really weren't suspicious of alcohol being involved in this case, and that proved to be true at the jail. So Mr. Woods did a breathalyzer test, blew triple zeros.
Golf puns, this guy. OMG.
He refused.
Again?
So he's been charged with DUI, with property damage, and refusal to submit to a lawful test.
That fool be getting faded on the daily type shit, for real. Never met a sober golfer. Yeah, golf is like pure alcoholism. Okay, well, guess what, dude? Some people like to drive, Just because you're rich, time to retire. Is he not? God. Yeah, see, it's pills, not alcohol. This guy's take. W take. Alexander Supertramp 7355. Legend. We got a back-to-back, sort of a
Golfing great Tiger Woods.
Oh, this is their news
Florida,
packet
on suspicion of driving under
That
the
was just the
influence.
statement.
He showed signs of impairment after he hit a truck in his Land Rover. Authorities said the rollover crash occurred in the afternoon, not far from where Woods lives on Jupiter Island.
Look at that Range Rover,
There were
though.
no serious injuries.
It just, honestly, this looks a little fake because, like, that's not a rollover. That's a car that was deliberately put on its side without damage. Where's any debris or anything? I guess the Range Rover's just that tough, dude.
But
oh my God! Okay, look, this is what I'm talking about. Look on the mailbox. 28088.
Jupiter Island, Florida.
I bet his license plate would be
But the Martin County
33333.
Sheriff's Office said Woods would be kept in jail.
Damn, that Range Rover's looking clean underneath. Look at that, dude. British engineering.
For at least 8 hours. In line with Florida's law, governing people arrested for driving under the influence.
We know we arrested a high-profile figure. I'm not trying to dramatize, but it doesn't matter who you are. If you break the law, we're going to follow the law.
This is the third time
we would hope.
In a car crash. The most recent one being in 2021 when his SUV.
See, that's a real car crash. That's real.
He ran off a road in Los Angeles.
Now, did he crash it? Of course, I don't know. But that's a wreck. That's a crashed car.
High speed.
The other one had looked nothing like that.
That led to multiple leg
and rollover.
Woods later said that the doctors considered amputation. He was also arrested on a DUI charge in 2017 when South Florida police found him asleep behind the wheel of his vehicle. The car was parked awkwardly with damage to the driver's side. Woods said he had taken a bad mix of painkillers. Woods had been working his way back to golf after a seventh back surgery last September. He had not decided whether he planned the Masters on April 9th to the 12th.
7 back surgeries, dude. Hang it up. I know you were genetically engineered to play golf, but jeez, dude.
The U.S. and Israel's war on Iran is severely impacting Iraq.
And everywhere else in the entire world, yes, we know.
Primary deep-water seaport. Before the war, this port would see mothership docking, bringing
motherships
cargo a year. But ever since Iran effectively closed off the Strait of Hormuz, those ships are no longer able to access this port. Iraq has had to find an alternative route. These ships now are docking in.
So, like, everyone's saying Iran thing's gonna be a mess. Look at this big port Iraq has. Surely that had nothing to do with the U.S.'s influence, right? Or is this port Saddam and this all existed beforehand? I don't know, dude.
The cargo is then trucked to Sharjah, and from there...
I never heard much about Iraqi shipping back in the day, you know? Moron. Look at what they got on this boat here to insult me. Moron. Any numbers? Let's look for some numbers. Any 88s or 33s around?
It is a
safety moron.
Time-consuming alternative. However, officials here saying that they're doing the best that they can. Oil exports, on the other hand, completely stopped from southern Iraq. This is highly problematic because it brings in the bulk of Iraq's state revenue. Officials say and admit that things will only get harder for them and their economy the longer this war continues.
No kidding.
Hoping that Gulf shipping routes will reopen so that they can at least not have to bear the burden of this war.
Well, sorry, you're a vassal state of the United States, so you're kind of screwed. Alright, I'm going to hit refresh. Oh my god. Okay, thank god there's only one. I was like, how many is there going to be? How much longer does this have to go on for?
The White House is treating policy battles for actual fighting as President...
This is insane to me. So Trump's throwing his birthday bash and having a free UFC match on the front lawn. Interesting. I personally am not a fan of the UFC. I think grown men who dedicate their entire life to fighting each other for power, glory, and money is one of the stupidest things you can do. At least fight somebody for morals and, to make a better world. How does this make a better world? It doesn't. It's blood sport. Bread and circus. Well, hell, talk about ancient Rome, bread and circus. The emperor's having fights to the death on his front lawn. This is gladiator games. How long before two people on death row will fight each other to the death for our entertainment? 10 years, tops, I say.
Donald
And everyone will say, oh, who cares? You're going to die anyways. Well, that's not the point, though, is it?
prepares to mark his 80th birthday with UFC cage matches on the lawn. And coming weeks,
and it just kind of proves the collusion between Dana White and Trump. Like, they obviously own a bunch of apartment buildings or something together.
will erect a 6-foot wire mesh fence shaped into an octagon outside the White House. It's where UFC fighters will use a combination of kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and other martial arts. And a June 14th show.
Oh my god, look at this. Fight for my entertainment.
Timed for Trump's 80th birthday. Trump's been hyping it.
At the end, he'll give one of these. And whoever loses shall be executed for the king's
We're
glory.
going to have a UFC fight. Think of this on the grounds of the White House.
A year ago, he's floating this idea.
Trump was the first.
Look at that guy back there. He's like,
the grounds of the White House.
I don't like that. He don't like that.
Trump was the first sitting president to attend a UFC show, taking a 2019 fight, stopped when the loser was deemed to have too much blood pouring down his face. He supported UFC for decades and used his love of the sport to attract voters who weren't traditionally politically engaged during his successful re-election run in 2024. He's also close friends with UFC CEO Dana White and the Ellison family, whose Paramount Plus has the broadcast rights.
Huge nepotism. Okay.
No hard style of politics. Trump has hosted the show will feature all top guys, but fans online have panned the June 14th card as underwhelming. While still being finalized, the card features two champions.
They'll have a surprise.
Will meet Francis Surreal Khan for the interim UFC fight title. And Spanish Georgian lightweight champion Ilia Topuria takes on interim champ Justin Gaethje, one of just two Americans who currently hold the UFC championship belt.
So stupid. So dumb. Bread and circus to distract you from the war. Happy birthday, Trump! Okay, well, that's today. I was a little less angry, I guess. The articles weren't as inflammatory and triggering, so I don't know. I guess you can see what bothers me. But, yeah, that's March 27th for you, so... Thanks for watching the whole video. I don't know who I'm making this for. There's basically two people I have in mind. I don't know if they're even watching. I know one is, but I don't know about the other one, but whatever, dude. I don't really care anymore because I tried, and it's just making their life more difficult for me to exist, so I'm just gonna step back a little bit and hope that someday things come back around. My teeth look pretty decent. I don't know. Alright, well, I'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Have a good day.